All right, hello, and today we're going to be talking about volume. And volume is on your formula sheet that's given at the test, and it is at the bottom of the formula sheet. Most of my students have a copy of this, and we're going to talk about prism and cylinder, pyramid and cone, and I think a sphere is on here, so we'll double check that. But if not, we'll discuss what we have, and then maybe there'll be a part 2 to this. We'll find out though, okay? So volume. Volume, this is prism. This is the prism, okay? Same as a cube or any kind of three-dimensional box-like figure, okay? And what they did is they gave us 3, 6, and 5. And what you're looking for is the area of the base. It tells you on your formula sheet, but that's the length and the width. So length, width, and then times height, which I wrote here. And then we take 5, 6, and 3 and multiply them all together, and you get 90 inches cubed. Now remember, in volume, it's going to be cubed. When you're doing area, it'll be squared. And when you're doing perimeter, it's just what it is. So this one is always in cubic units. Okay? So, volume of a cylinder. This is our cylinder. We have 3 inches here, and we have 7.5 inches for the height. 3 inches across this way. And then what you're looking for is the area of the base, and this is a circle. And then height times the height. And the circle, area of a circle is pi r squared. If we haven't recorded that yet, it should be in our videos, so look for that if you need to go back and find out what the area of a circle is, but I can tell you it's pi r squared. And so we set it up pi r squared times height. We're going to take pi is always 3.14, and the radius is always half of the diameter. In this case, it's going to be 1.5 because that's half of 3. And so then we do 1.5 squared. We have 3.14 times 1.5 squared times 7.5. I always tell the students do it in little itty bitty steps here. 1.5 squared is 2.25. Times that by 3.14, you get 7 65 thousandths times 7 5 tenths. And you multiply those two, and you have 52.9875. If they tell you to round to the nearest whole number, it's going to be around 53 inches cubed. Next item. I don't know why this went kind of wonky on me, so we're going to just make it a little bigger. This is about the pyramid, and there we have it. So we have pyramid, volume. Pyramid is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. And a squared pyramid has a square bottom. The area of the base you're looking for is length times width. And then times the height is right in the middle of the pyramid. So you would do 1/3 times, in this case they gave us 4 by 4. 4 times 4 times 7. I always tell the students, multiply all of this first before you do the 1/3. And so then you get 1/3 times 1/12, and you get 37.3 inches cubed. Round to the nearest tenth. Look for those directions that it tells you to look for. When you're multiplying these, you can do 1 ABC 3 times 1/12, and it would still give you the same answer. Okay? All right. Next, we have a cone. What is the volume of 1 cup? This was the cup that was at a water cooler. And so this was the measurement of that cup. Sometimes those water coolers have these triangular cone-shaped cups, and they wanted to know how much water would fit in there. I didn't write all that up there. We had a lot to write in this situation. So remember, pi is 3.14. Half of the diameter is half of 7.5, 3.75. Area of the base would be the area of that circle, which is pi r squared times height. Again, they have the 1/3 in front of that. Please use your formula sheet. It tells you on there what it is. we would do 3.75 squared, and then that ends up being 14.0625, times that by 3.14, times that by 10. We get all these numbers here. Hopefully you can see this. And then you times that by 1/3. And you round it to the nearest tenth. And you get 147 2/10 centimeter cubed. Don't forget to write the cube. And again, go back, rewind, look at the steps that I did here. You can even pause it and see it on the screen of all the steps that I took. And they gave us the measurements. Next up, we have a sphere. I did put the sphere on here. Okay, so that's good. This is a sphere. That's a ball, a basketball, a baseball, something that's solid, round, 3D shaped looking. That's why it has the circle all the way around it. And a sphere's volume is 4/3 times pi times radius cubed. So pay attention to the details of that. Our pi equals 3.14, and our radius is 8, and it's 8 cubed. And then you do 8 cubed, you get 512, and then you times that by 3.14, and then times that by 4/3, you'll get 2,143 and 6/10 feet cubed. I showed you how to do the cube over here. That's 8, and then you hit your shift key, then you hit the play button. We call it a play button. It has a little x cubed up there, and that's what that means, and that ends up being 512, or you do the 8 times 8 times 8. It's also 512, so I put 2 different ways there. And I believe on the calculator I showed you how to do the 4/3 times the 3.14 times the 512, and how it equals to 2,143.57, but if you round it to the nearest tenth, you round that 5 to a 6, because that's a 7 next to it, and estimating and rounding would bring that to a 6. And I think, let me see what the next item up is. Okay, so we did a couple of questions in class. This is the practice that we did. I didn't really erase anything. You can stop and pause, read the question, calculate the volume of a can of vegetables that has a height of 12 centimeters and a diameter of 8 centimeters. And we wrote it all out. And we, you know, I like to draw. I'm a visual person, so I drew the can, or they maybe gave it to me, but I would draw it anyway. And I wrote tomatoes because it was vegetables. And I wrote the volume of a cylinder, pi r squared times height, because it's the area of the base times the height. I wrote all these numbers in, and our volume ended up being 602 and 88/100. I showed how to get the radius, and I showed what 4 squared is. 4 squared, that's how we say it, and then 4 times 4 is 16. Next one was a billiard ball, has a radius of 1/8 inches. What is its volume to the nearest cubic inch? And we wrote it out. This would be the volume of a sphere. And this is how we did that. And someone said, well, how do you do 1 1/8 to the 3rd power? And we wrote it out here. We made it in proper fraction. We multiplied it. Then we worked it all out. However we worked it out is how it came to be. I think we turned it into a decimal. If we took 729 and we divided it by 512, we got 1.424. And that's the number we used for here. And then we multiplied all that, and we got 5 and 962 inches cubed. And that is how those 2 items were done. And I believe, yeah, I was showing them how we got it. And I think that's it. So we'll see you for now, and that covers volume. Go back, rewind, look at what you need to look at. Every Formula is on the formula sheet on here for volume. And then I give practice in class. And then these are the notes that I would give in class for volume. So thank you, and you have a great day. Bye.